Hello, everyone. I'm sure by now you have heard of the fact that the U.S. government has done airstrike. U.S. military has conducted airstrike in northwest Nigeria. And so Donald Trump tweeted it last night. That was quite really late in the night. Nigerians had already gone to bed. Most Nigerians actually has already gone. They should be sleeping at the time, because really people should be sleeping at that time, had gone to bed when that breaking news did come in. So most Nigerians woke up this morning to hear that there have been airstrike, and the airstrikes were in the northwestern part of Nigeria, but precisely they're saying it's Sokoto State. Donald Trump tweeted. He did his tweet. We'll put in the description section a link to a video that we had done, reading out his statement and what he had said. After the statement, there wasn't an immediate response or statement from the Nigerian government. Much later, but still last night, this thing came out, this particular report, which came from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So the first thing for me was to think that if a president is tweeting that they have done airstrike in the country, it shouldn't be Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is coming out to do to give information out. It should be the president of the other country. But of course, hey, does Nigeria have a president? We have an illegitimate president who rigged his way into office and get in there. And sometimes you see a lot of things that should be done in a way that it puts Nigeria in place, as in Nigeria is a country. We don't get to see it. So ordinarily, so that brings for me the question, were they aware, even though right now conversation have been going on that indeed that the military were aware, they did this together. I'm like, if you're doing this together, why were you not tweeting at the same time? Why did you should have known when, okay, at so and so hours, this is going to be done? But I very much doubt so. But I very much doubt so. Yes, one of the things that we've asked for, and I think they've alluded, they've mentioned the U.S. government, that Nigeria sought for help. That's the way they are putting it out. Just the way Tinubu has said Benin Republic sought for help. Well, now Nigeria sought for help, which is a good thing. It's a perfectly good thing. If after 15 years we are unable to solve this particular problem, then it's mandatory that we seek help outside to be able to protect lives and properties, in Nigeria. And so for me, what I just felt that at the moment that was done, we should have been the ones tweeting first. Nigeria should have been tweeting that message out for this so today, so hours, because you would have known the hour it was going to be done. As soon as it says drop, you put it out at so hour. There was a joint military effort. There has been a Nigerian US joint military effort. Blah 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 blah. You put all of that statement the way that it should be put out, but not just have the US government, the US president come out and say something and there's silence from our part. Much later, sort of like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is reacting to that. But let me just quickly read what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs put out yesterday night as press release. It says, Nigeria United States Security Cooperation and Intelligence Collaboration hits at terrorist targets in Nigeria. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria confirms that Nigerian authorities remain engaged in structural security cooperation with international partners, including the United States of America, in addressing the persistent threat of terrorism and violent extremism. This has led to precision hits on terrorist targets in Nigeria by airstrikes in the northwest. In line with established international practice and bilateral understandings, this cooperation includes the exchange of intelligence, strategic coordination, and other forms of support consistent with international law, mutual respect for sovereignty, and shared commitments to regional and global security. Nigeria reiterates that all counter-terrorism efforts are guided by the primacy of protecting civilian lives, safeguarding national unity, and upholding the rights and dignity of all citizens, irrespective of faith or ethnicity. Terrorist violence in any form, whether directed at Christians, Muslims, or other communities, remains an affront to Nigerians' values and to international peace and security. I mean, everyone, not just Muslim, Christian, there are other religions in Nigeria, include them. Let's all be inclusive. The federal government outlined, the federal government, let me take that again. The federal government continues to work closely with its partners through established diplomatic and security channels to weaken terrorist networks, disrupt their financing and logistics, and prevent cross-border threats while strengthening Nigerians' own security institutions and intelligence capacity. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will continue to engage relevant partners and keep the public informed through appropriate official channels. Signed, Kimebi Imomotimi Ebienfa, a spokesperson, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja. It's even a spokesperson, that had signed it. It's not the minister himself and all of that. So when this thing came out, the first thing I looked at, like, no, this doesn't sound right, because on an issue as serious as this, you understand, this is a really major issue. It should be a precedent. If Nigeria had a president, it should be a president that was putting out a media report. It's almost as if there was, how do I put it, a lacuna, and then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs decided to step in. This statement shouldn't have been coming from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, should have been coming from the presidency, directly from a president, if Nigeria had one. And so you put this out, because before this whole operation would have been done, there should have been statements that are put down, already done. As soon as it's done, to look at it, okay, it fits in, and you send it out, just like you had Donald Trump sending his own out. Even the spokesperson to Tinubu, Bayo Onanuga, it was still this same statement that he had put out much, I think earlier this morning when he put out a statement. It was still this statement that he put out. But along the way, you're having more, how do I put it now, more statements are coming out. We continue to follow all of that, where the military is saying that, they were part of the whole thing that has happened. They are part of the operations that has happened and stuff like that. I'm just trying to I saw a particular statement just now, fantastic. I've just seen it. It says, press release, Armed Forces of Nigeria in conjunction with the United States conducts precision strikes against foreign ISIS elements in Northwest, and Nigeria. And this statement was done by Samaila Uba, Major General, Director of Defense Information. Just to quickly look at what it says. It said the Armed Forces of Nigeria, in conjunction with the United States of America, has conducted precision strike operations against identified foreign ISIS-linked elements operating in parts of Northwest Nigeria. The operation was executed with the approval of the appropriate federal government authorities and forms part of ongoing coordinated efforts to rid the country of terrorists and other criminal elements in threatening national security. The strike followed credible intelligence and careful operational planning aimed at degrading the capability of the targeted elements while minimizing collateral damage. The operation underscores the resolve of the federal government of Nigeria working with strategic partners to confront transnational terrorism and prevent foreign fighters from establishing or expanding footholds within Nigeria's borders. The Armed Forces of Nigeria reiterates its unwavering commitment to protecting lives and properties and to supporting joint and interagency efforts to restore lasting peace and security across the country. And so, which is a statement that they just put out not too long ago. It's dated 26 December 2025. I mean, instead of propaganda, like I've always said, what Nigeria should be doing, and which is what they're doing, and look for collaboration. This whole war against insurgency has been something, that has eluded and defeated Nigeria. We take that, but you ask for help and let's get stronger. Let's have that political will to defeat terrorism and go on. And also for this whole, like the US, especially Trump. Trump has attention deficit. How do they call that? ADHD. And so he might move on to other things. And as far as it's concerned, okay, I've done it. So because Trump is about one thing, his base. How does he please his base? which is, oh, okay, yes, I've thrown this, we've already thrown, we've done airstrikes there, if I want to move up, make sure you're following it to check, be sure of the airstrikes, follow up on it, ensure that the terrorists are truly being defeated, and let's have a sustained effort towards that rather than just one kind of hit show and go on and just leave in there. Because you can't, when you're going with terrorists, you just don't wound them, you take them out, and that's just, the long and short of it. Thank you so much for watching.